Hello. Welcome to the next chapter. I apologize for my raspiness. I believe I'm having some allergy issues. I don't feel bad, but I sound pretty sexy. I am. Yeah, it's in there. I can't get it out. So bear with me. I really didn't want to record with my voice this way, but I wanted to get on here and say hello and talk for a little bit about what my plan is for the podcast. And yeah, just go from there. Excuse me. And if I belch, it is what it is. Anybody that's known me for years knows that I am a belcher. So I'm not going to edit it out. You can just deal with it. This is my show and all of its crazy crap that's going to happen. I'm down. So, anywho, first of all, I want to give out a little plug. I don't know if you can see this very well. There's a glare. Bar 20. Let's go, Brandon. Right? Yeah, this is a mug that I made for this awesome little Western store right there in Parma, Bar 20. If you haven't been there, make sure you stop by there. Say Tiffany sent you. And they have these mugs. And we're currently working on some other stuff to be able to get in the store. So I'm looking forward to it. But go in and say hi to Jace and Jay and say Tiffany sent you. Because say, I want a mug. That's a pretty awesome mug. Anyway, so there's my little plug for my own stuff. Anyway. So this is my plan for this little podcast. I have wanted, ever since I started this, to interview people consistently. I wanted guests all the time, and it just didn't work out for what the vision I had for Mahogany and Willow. It just wasn't in the cards at the time. And flip-flopping back and forth between Nevada and Idaho is very difficult to have guests anyway. So we did it a couple times and the episodes were amazing. And I was hooked after that. I just wanted more. You know, we had Julie from The Outdoorsman, and then we had Becky Woolery from Insight Counseling. And I've got Becky on board to do another one, which is really exciting. And I think it's very important to always have a conversation about health and wellness. And she's the guru on that. And plus she's a fellow Payette girl. So I'm pretty excited about that. But after those, I just thought, man, I want to keep doing that. I didn't want this to be about just us talking. And then time got short. We got busy. And it's kind of like God's way of saying, ladies, I think it's time for you to explore something different. You know, Jeanette, I've known her forever, and she's doing great with her business that she's got going, Orange Ass Farm. So check out all the products that Jeanette's doing. Again, another plug for Jeanette, Orange Ass Farm. She does spices. This is all really excellent ingredients, all natural stuff between cooking spices, tinctures, salves. She has body products, lip products, face products. She's got all of it. So I'm not, without knowing, I'd have to look at the list. She's got her stuff out there. She's also on Facebook. So check out Jeanette's stuff. It's pretty badass. I use her stuff on my lips all the time. And the stuff that she said is for the lips, I actually preferred the stuff that was for the owies. I like that stuff on my lips. So anyway, love her stuff. Check it out, Orange Ass Farm. Anyway, so I believe that with how logistically crazy we were getting, that it was God's way of saying, it's time to move on. So I kept having this thing in my head going, you need to rebrand. You need to do what you want to do. You need to interview people. And I was just like, that's it. I've got to do it. So boop, here we are with the next chapter. And that name just came to me. I was actually substitute teaching in Weiser, and it was pretty quiet. It was ironically the ag class, which I was like, oh my God, there's like FFA jackets everywhere. And I'm an alumni, was vice president. And I was in FFA every year I could be in. I loved it. Go, Mr. Hyatt. Payette High School. Class of 88. Anyway, it was cool. So it was, nothing to do. So I was jamming out a bunch of potential names for the podcast. And this one just, I was like, God, that's it. That's the next chapter. It just rang to me. So here we are. And I've already reached out to several people and asked to come on board and be a guest. Some of them are old friends, and some of them are my new friends that you get to meet. I'm hoping that I have the equipment that I need here soon to be able to record side by side, but I don't at the moment. So some of them are going to probably be split screen video until I get this whole logistics figured out, because it's not as easy as you might think to be able to video. And I've always wanted to do video because those are the kind of podcasts that I watch. I like to see people's faces. I like to see their personalities come through. I like to see their sincerity and the whole thing. I'm a very visual person anyway, so I like to interact. And so when I started watching podcasts heavily a couple years ago, those are the ones I gravitate to. I hardly ever just listen to a podcast. I may download it and listen to it over and over, but it's a video and I watch it later. So anyway, I'm going to go back a little bit and talk for a bit about why podcasts are important to me. And some of you know my story, and I won't go deep diving into it. I will on my podcast later, but not right at this moment. But just to kind of skim over how I ended up with this whole podcast idea. So my journey with podcasting and listening to podcasts is essentially, it started after my whole family blew up. And some of you know about it, and I will talk about it. I'm not afraid to talk about it. And I don't care what people say, because it's my story and I lived it. And I know a lot. And I withstood a lot. I went through a lot. And I watched my parents go through a lot during this whole thing. 3 years ago, in June, it'll be that this whole blow up happened, essentially the beginning of it. And through that process, I spent many months here, really a long time here. And luckily I wasn't working. And John was very, very understanding that I needed to be here to fight for my parents and their well-being. I needed to immerse myself in the whole thing, and I did. But in that immersion, I lost myself. I am a go-getter by personality. I don't fuck around. I don't. I'm a fuck around and find out person, but I don't fuck around. So when I go in on something, I go all in, and I don't come up for air until it's done. That's just the way I do. I've always been that way, and I will continue to be that way. And when I fight for somebody, I'm all in. And these are my parents, right? So when all this stuff was going on, I'm the one that took care of everything, from legal stuff to testifying in front of a grand jury. I mean, you name it, it was all on me. And I'm the one that would give stacks of papers to law enforcement, to attorneys and stuff, and nobody had to do a thing. I had it all done. But that came with a price, which was not sleeping, not eating right, not pooping right, not taking care of myself. I was working nonstop and helping my parents at the same time, because we were cleaning, we were purging things, we were doing landscaping. It was just nonstop. And I'm not saying I'm the only one. I'm not taking away from what they contributed. But I know for myself, I lost me. And my relationship took a toll. My health and wellness took a toll. Took a hit, I should say. Everything was upside down, and I wasn't getting my zen, which my zen is in Nevada with my man and my dogs, and my everyday life up there in the mountains. I was missing it, and I just lost myself. And some of you could probably relate in certain situations where you just had to go to bat for somebody that you cared about, and you ended up just losing yourself. So when it was finally time, this thing was over. If you want to say we won, okay, we won. And it was time for me to go back home for chunks of time. And when I did, I was just full of resentment. I was carrying so much on me. I could just feel it. Like, when you're just packing a bunch of shit around and you're just angry and just like How could this happen? How could this person do that? And then it affected everybody else. And pretty soon I went full blown, no contact with several members of my family. And I'm okay with it. I'm just telling you right now, I'm not sad. I'm not upset. It was something that I should have done a long time ago. And I'm okay with it. But what led up to that was very, very stressful. And I started ruminating over and over in my head, asking why? Why this? Why that? Why would they do that? Why would they say that? Why? I don't understand. But you know what? I learned a lot about myself through all of that. And I wouldn't trade it for nothing. That's what's crazy about when you go through this kind of stuff. You walk on the other side of it. You get over that bridge, over that hump, and you go, oh, God, thank you, God. You knew what you were doing. There are no mistakes. There are no accidents. Is it shitty? Yes. Does it hurt my parents? Absolutely. Is it ever going to get better? Not by me, because I'm good. I'm not missing anything. I really am not. I know everything happens for a reason. And my thoughts are God has a plan for everyone and everything. And sometimes you have to hit rock bottom. I needed to be nudged forcefully in the right direction away from these people. I am at a place in my life now. I'm almost 55 and I'm happy. I'm content. I don't want to try to control anything anymore. I don't need toxicity in my life. I don't need angry people in my life. I don't need narcissistic people in my life. And I'm better for it. The only thing that bothers me throughout all that is how it affects my parents. That's the one thing that bothers me because they've been through enough. They've been taken advantage of for so many years, especially my father and his kindness and goodness. That bothers me. That hurts me, but I can't change it. So anyway, bar 20. So let's fast forward to when I got back home to Nevada after I came through all this crap. When I reached out and started Googling podcast stuff, it was really enlightening to me. I found several different platforms, which I will talk about later on, that had to do with the family dynamics. It had to do with betrayal. It had to do with rewiring your brain. It had to do with, all these things that I'd soaked in. And I started praying, and I prayed hard, and I still pray hard. I started really practicing gratitude. I started rewiring, the way that I thought about from the second my feet hit the ground in the morning until I went to bed at night. And I am filled with gratitude nonstop. And I think that on a daily basis and giving of myself to other people and extending myself out to other people really helped me start to not even think about this crap anymore. It was like, oh, I went how many days and I never thought about it. Oh. And then like my mom might say something and I'm like, oh, I hadn't even thought about it, Mom. It was huge for me. And that's when I started thinking, okay, as it's healing myself and my relationship with John is healing and we're growing as a couple and we're learning and he's starting to see, okay, there's results in Tiffany that I like. Maybe I should try a little enlightening of myself. And we did, we had to reach out for help too. It was like, I needed to talk to somebody else. So podcasting can only do so much. For you, it does a lot, but for couples, it's not going to help you as a couple. The other person is not going to be plugged in to the same things, right? So we went through a journey and we started plugging back into what we love to do, which is mountain rides, going and doing things together in the mountains. We'll put on thousands of miles a year out there in our beautiful Nevada mountains. And, our kids will come see us, and friends come see us. And that's always fun, going on 200-mile rides in one day and not getting home till midnight, whatever it is. It's just a beautiful thing. And we can show people things that they've never seen before when they come up and visit us. And then hunting season, and, plugging into hunting season. And I freaking love hunting season. I love hunting in Idaho for turkeys, and I love hunting big game in Nevada. And it's all about balance. Balance to me is huge. So after my grandbaby was born, I knew that I wanted to spend more time here, and I needed to be here to help my parents as well. So I wanted to see my kids, be here for my folks, start to build my business, extend on the podcast. And then work part-time. So since I've been here since November, yeah, before Thanksgiving, I think I ended up staying here consistently. And I have been here consistently since then, except for a few weekends in between. But I knew it was important for me because living up there in those beautiful mountains in our cute little double wide is great for this. But then you can't have this, which is, this is mountain life. This is hunting. This is our time together. This is obviously spending our time together in our home, all that. And then this is work, because there's no work up there in Nevada, at Wild Horse. So work, grandbaby, children, parents, blah, 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 building my business, podcast. So there is really no way to balance this effectively other than me going back and forth. So I told John what I need to do is I need to get here, and I need to start building a foundation with my business and working part-time and all of that I had planned, family time, everything. He comes back and forth the best he can, and I go back and forth when I can. It's turning out to only be about once a month, though, that I get home. But that's only going to go on until June. So in June, I'll be back up there consistently. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to turn right around and come back and do the same thing over and over. As I'm building my business here now, I'm going to have to be plugged in more consistently here. So it's a balance, man. It's balance. And it ain't easy. But I'm doing the best I can, I've plugged into some great ladies that are my new friends. I'm totally reconnecting and have a deepening, more meaningful 50 plus postmenopausal relationship with my old friends. It's just it's amazing what's going on, and I'm enjoying every bit of it. So that being said, I can't wait to bring all of this stuff I want to bring to you through the next chapter. So all I can say right now is thank you guys for your support. Thank you for seeing the vision that I want. Thank you for those that are going to be able to give me some time to be on the show. Thank you in advance. If there's anything that you guys want to hear about or have an idea for somebody for me to talk to, I'm not just going to have just anybody on here. I'm going to be pretty picky. They got to have a story. As much as I love talking to everybody, to put it out there into the world, it has to be something that's fairly profound, right? I don't care if it's a guy, male or female, somebody that has a story. Send me an instant message, and I would love to hear about what your thoughts are. So anyway, stay tuned for the next chapter, and I look forward to bringing everything to you. Thank you guys. Talk to you soon.